Yeah, the mail, it low. I'm in an all black truck, hell nah, you can't see in it. Young nigga ballin' in it, bitch, I feel like Scottie Pippen. All these hoes wanna fuck a nigga, they see how I'm living. Had to cut my partner out, but cut that nigga be in here feeling. Never trip about a hoe when that nigga getting plenty. Shotty skirting on his dick, and it feeling like I'm swimming. All I do is get them blue, that boy he be penny pitching. 20 bags on the road, and the window wasn't tinted. Rhyme by 12, hell yeah, they can see in it. Did a show, then drop the load, a young nigga still with it. Right at Huntville before my thug with the prison. And fuck around, nigga, QG still owe me digits. How you rap about the streets and you can't even flip it? How you sign a P and a P, you can't even flip it, boy, you tripping. Oh, you gon' get it. I'm in an all black truck, hell nah, you can't see in it. Young nigga ballin' in that bitch, feel like Scottie Pippen. All these hoes wanna fuck a nigga, they see how I'm living. Had to cut my partner out, cause that nigga be in his feeling. All black truck, hell nah, you can't see in it. Young nigga ballin' in that bitch, I feel like Scottie Pippen. All these hoes wanna fuck a nigga, they see how I'm living. Had to cut my partner out, cause that nigga be in his feeling. All my junkie family, so you know I call her auntie. Niggas acting like they big dog, but they under me. Every time you see a nigga dog, I be getting cheese. Every time your hoe on my dick, she suck it like a flea. These niggas acting like they poppin', but they wanna be. Every time you see me, it's just 70 yours all on my feet. These niggas talking like they body, but they ain't cheap. I'm the nigga who really sold they uncle and they auntie. Bitch, I'm in a trap, getting money going down. Feeling like a dentist, I put white shit on her tongue. Baby, you can leave, but first you gotta make me calm. Feeling like a dentist, putting white shit on her tongue. Baby, you can leave, but you gotta make me calm. Yeah, the mail, it low. I'm in an all black truck, hell nah, you can't see in it. Young nigga ballin' in it, bitch, I feel like Scottie Pippen. All these hoes wanna fuck a nigga, they see how I'm living. Had to cut my partner out, but cut that nigga be in here feeling. Never trip about a hoe when that nigga getting plenty. Shotty skirting on his dick, and it feeling like I'm swimming. Shout out to the chat, man. Make sure y'all go ahead and hit the like button on the way in, man. We in here. Y'all go ahead and share. I'm trying to give y'all some time to pull up. We about to cam up. I'm already here. What's up, CC? Appreciate it. I need you to go over there, hit the live button, tell them to pull up, man. If you could do 3 minutes real quick, tell them pull up. Shout out to everybody. Grab the phone over here. Hey, y'all, I'm about to end the live, man. I need all y'all to pull up right now. We already at the interview. I'm here. I'm about to cam up, man. I got my boy Tribe with me, man. It's about to go crazy. Everything's there we go. We in. This thing sounding good. I'm gonna share it to the Discord. Yeah, please do that for me. All right, so everybody who's on my Bigo, I need all of y'all right now to pull up to the YouTube. What's up, Tony Tone? Pull up to the YouTube right now. It's Hood Breaking News. I'm about to get off of this live right here. So all y'all can come over here. We in the building. Y'all see right here. You know what I'm saying? It's going down. So I need all 300 y'all pull up right now. All right, y'all, I'm going. Come try Boosie artist. Y'all probably see him all over TikTok, YouTube. I mean, you can name it. All you gotta do is put his name in and you gonna see what's going on. But y'all, I'm about to get down. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. What's good? What's up, Amber? Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody pulling up right now. We on Facebook, YouTube. We on Twitch at the same time, man. I got my boy Come to Try with me. It's a blessing to be here.
Yes, sir.
It's a blessing, man. You look like you slimming up, man. You been working out.
I've been gaining weight, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. You look like you slimming up from the last time I saw you.
Yeah, I probably did. And then I lost the weight. Now I'm getting it back.
Oh, yeah. That's how I just got back in the gym, so don't feel bad, man. Don't feel bad at all. So, man, tell us something about yourself, man. Where you grew up at?
Man, I grew up in the system, bro. You know, so I was all over the place. You know, born and raised like all over the country. I don't really have a home. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that's kind of like what makes it what it is.
What I did see is that you was born in Cali.
I was born in Cali.
How was that?
You know, well, I was only there for like 6-7 years. So I'm not like, I wouldn't call myself a Cali native, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, man.
So if you go to Cali, would you have to check in?
Nah. I mean, my face card good. You know?
So I mean, so like as an adult, you've been out there, you've been around.
Yeah.
Okay. I see that big tribe. I like that, man. Me myself, I always said that if I go to Cali, I got at least have 20 people with me. I mean, they snatching change, they stealing your cars. I mean, it's a lot going on, man. And Whack 100, man. If you ain't from around the Whack, he ready to, you know, pull your card and all that.
There's all kind of issues with Boosie camp and Whack, bro. So,
oh Lord, oh Lord, man. And that's another thing. You being a country R&B single, so I mean, you started off. You was doing like rap first, right? That's what
I was a rap R&B singer back in the day. Yeah.
So how was that being an artist signed to an artist?
Well, I mean, I actually have big news that I'm gonna break right here. I'm no longer signed to Boosie.
Wow, yeah.
Contract up, bro. You know, the contract up. So I was signed for 3 albums. Mm-hmm. Delivered the last album 6 months ago.
So how did that go with being an artist on the Badass Entertainment?
It was good, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, like Boosie's a legend, you know what I mean? So anytime you get a chance to like be in the presence of a legend, you get a lot of opportunity to learn. Right. You know what I mean? And I did. I learned a lot, bro. Mad respect to Boosie. Like everything that he did for my career was huge. But with that being said, like in the country soul genre, being under a rapper, like it's really hard. You know what I mean? Because ain't nobody really paying too much attention to me and his fan base.
Right.
But you know, I dropped a couple rap songs and shit with him, and that helped. You know, like Hunting Season came out and it hit the charts. You know, so that helped build up like my fan base on his end. But ultimately, I have to grow beyond that point, and I appreciate everything that Boosie did to get me, you know, to the next step. And now I'm completely independent. I got every label knocking on the door in the last few months. Everybody knocking on the door. So yeah, the next one gonna be big.
But what you saying that a lot of artists, I mean, a lot of labels is knocking at your door. A lot of artists right now saying, look, I'm independent. We got our own money. How do you feel like that? Do you feel like a label going to take you to another level? Or are you ready to take the long route and just take the, you know, make more money?
That's the battle, bro. You know what I mean? Internally, like I'm dealing with that. Mm-hmm. I don't know whether I want to sign to the big label. Do I want to stay independent? But I'm just kind of playing around with it, bro. I'm just waiting to see what the money look like. You know, a couple offers for 1.5 million, 3 million. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, you know, at the end of the day, independent, man, if they can make that kind of money off of me, I can make even more off myself. You know what I mean? So
hold on, wait. Now you ain't say 1,500, 150,000. You said 3 million, 1.5 million. Mm-hmm. What's the first thing you buy? You gonna cash that check? The $3 million check. What's the first thing you want to buy?
Buying land. That's the first thing I'm buying.
You learned that from Boosie.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you know, I already had that though. Before I was big, before I was famous, and like had the songs out, I was already living off grid. You know what I mean? We were living out in the land. That was just kind of part of who I was anyway.
I'm kind of mad about something though.
What's that?
You got on, and you got rid of the bus.
Yeah.
You was not supposed to get rid of the bus.
Now when you look at content and you see all these different content creators, everybody making all this money by living out the bus, and y'all kind of like originated.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I do regret it. Probably at least once a month, I regret selling the bus. Yeah.
So can we get a bus tour before the deal from Coming Trial? Can we see y'all, buy another bus and redo, travel city to city?
The next bus is a tour bus. I'm still building it out, but yeah, it's gonna be a personalized thing. But the next bus definitely a tour bus.
How was it living on a bus and off grid? Like, you gotta take a shit, gotta wash, shower, like, you know what I mean? The climate,
you get used to it, bro. Like, it was hot all the time. My studio was in the bus, so that was hard. Like, recording music in the bus, and the bus had a lot of noise, and like you can't really soundproof it. So that was hard, bro. But honestly, like, I was forged in the fire. I feel like that was, you know what I mean? That's what made me who I am as an artist.
I mean, to me, just hearing your story, like, you a man, you got your wife with you always. I mean, like, it's rare I see you without your wife. You know what I'm saying? I love that, man.
I don't do nothing without the wife. She was there from the beginning, bro. We've been together 13 years. So, like, she seen me when I was a rapper. That's when she met me, when I was a rapper and R&B singer. And she was like, no more of that shit. Immediately, she was like, no more of that, no more of that.
So you just hold the waist. Right there, I got to catch the moment. So you mean to telling me, you like, look, I like you, you cute, but we're not doing this shit. Like, you got to get a little soft, a little something.
No, she really, like, made me, like, reevaluate everything that I wanted in life. Right, so I took 8 years off of music. I didn't do anything. I just raised my family, built my relationship. Like, we built several careers at the time. Like, we had a cleaning company and interior decorating, and I built furniture from like scratch, like from the ground up. I also had a vape shop that I built from fucking tax. I had like $3,000 in tax money. I dumped it into a fucking retail location and made $250,000 that first year. Like, I've always been a go-getter. But after COVID hit, it shut everything down, and we had to figure out what the next move was. So I was just like, "Fuck it, let's leave everything behind. We'll get rid of the big ass house. We'll sell the nice car, and like we'll go live out of a van and fucking just figure out what life looks like post COVID, post business ownership." And at that point, I was like, "Fuck it, I ain't got nothing to lose," and started making music again.
And when I talk to artists like yourself, it's always like a sacrifice. You gotta sacrifice something to gain something.
Yeah, I had to give everything up and then pour it all into the music, bro. Yeah. Like, and it's been a strong 5 years. You know what I mean? Like,
and not to cut you short, I had to do the same thing. If I wouldn't have left my hometown, I left my car wash, my cars. She even had a little family. Everything was just going left, And my brother called me and told me, "Hey, it's your opportunity. Come on." And I feel like that was the best decision that I made. Just leave, start over. It ain't about the money. You'll get money if you're a real
if you're a money getter, you're gonna get money, bro. But yeah, no, that's how it really is, bro. You gotta like really push everything to the side, devote all of your attention to this one thing. And that's what I did. And it worked. It worked. Immediately started working. I started seeing it. Like the first song I dropped immediately went viral. And then after that, I just started making music every day. I just doubled down.
I saw that. I saw a video clip where you was talking about that. Your first song you ever put on TikTok, right? Who idea was it to put it on TikTok? Yours or his? Your wife?
Mine. She won't even think about the internet.
Okay.
Yeah, she won't even thinking about the internet. We hadn't been on the internet in months, bro. We had been off grid completely. Like no phone service, no Wi-Fi, no nothing. But I started building that bus, the first bus we bought. And I was like, I think this is something that people might want to watch. So I posted some videos of that, and somebody brought up my music from back in the day. So I was like, "Didn't you used to rap?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did, but I don't make music no more, really." And they were like, "Well, post some of your music." So that's really what brought me back into the music. Yeah,
that's dope. That's dope, man. You being a country singer, and I've been to Boosie house.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like out of place? I ain't gonna lie. When I met Boosie, I'm detailing the car and all that. Everybody shook my hand. Like he moved like a ball. Like he ain't. You know?
That's where I'm from, bro. You know what I mean? I was raised in the hood. I come from the ghetto. I come from the fucking projects. I lived in probably 6 different projects in 6 different states.
God damn.
You know? So for me, that's home. You know what I mean? It's really like living off grid was the foreign concept. You know, living around all the pale folks. That was a foreign concept for me. But coming into Boosie house, I felt like that's home. You know what I mean? Like I'm good, yeah. Man. That first day of this house was crazy though, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I seen you say your bus broke down.
Yeah, the bus broke down. We pulled up at his house, and the first day actually like staying there in the backyard, some crazy shit went down out front. And you know, we were just watching. I can't say what.
Right. I mean, yeah, because I see people pulls up all the time. Like, see videos, people just knocking on the door, running up there. I see some stuff going viral right now going on with Boosie house. Is you watching?
Nah.
Man,
I try to stay out of the viral, like, you know, Boosie content.
Hey,
you know,
man, social media is crazy.
Yeah, there's no such thing as private.
Right, man. And you said you grew up around, you know, people like Boosie and stuff like that. But I got a question for you. And this is the question everybody in the world want to know. They say he's albino, he's mixed, he's black, he's white. I don't know. Can you tell me really what, you know, what's your nationality?
Yeah, my mom's white, and my pops is light skinned. Yeah.
So everybody in the hood, dark skin, you the only one light skin out there, bright like that.
But I was raised in the system, right? So like my foster parents, like the people that worked in the facilities, it was nothing but dark skin, bro. So like, and growing up, I wasn't sure what I was. You know what I mean? I didn't even find out who my father was until a few years ago. You know, so all I knew was that like I had a white mom, but I never fit in, and my mom got rid of me but kept the other kids. You know what I'm saying? So for me, going into the system, it was them that told me like, nah, you ain't white. You know, and I in my like over and over the years, like I was just like, nah, you're right. And so I was raised as a black child in America. I grew up as a black child in America. You know what I mean? And so as an adult to find out that my father is in fact black, it was just like full circle for me. You know, like it just made sense. Everything kind of fell into place.
Right. Yeah. And that was one of my like 4 jobs. After high school, I started working in like group homes and stuff like that. So I'm familiar with the system. I have seen so much. It have been times where we may have to write a report. One child touched another child, the adults, you got the co-workers. I feel like the worst thing to do in America is to grow up in that system. A lot of people, they think that they helping the child they think they're going to help the child get a better life, but they also causing a lot of trauma and pain.
Because fuck me up.
Yeah, so how you feel about the system? If you had lost everything, we rebuke that. But how would you feel? And if you had a choice to thug it out or take your child to the system, would you put your child?
We gonna thug it out 100% of the time. I would never send my kids.
So the system really not good, right?
Nah. And honestly, like it hasn't changed. It may even have gotten worse. You know, like when they talk about child trafficking, that is the child trafficking. You know, taking your kids from the parents and like sending them off into the system where they then pimp them out for a $1,200 a month check, you know, food stamps. And then the kids don't get shit. You know, they live in fucking, you know, day to day, barely eating, doing all the housework. Like, you know, those people getting over, bro. Like that is the trafficking. And not to mention the abuse that takes place from the foster parents and you know, workers at the group homes. And
man, I didn't check. Not to cut you short. I didn't check a few workers, bro. Like they'll see my image and they'll see how I am. They'll think like this shit cool. We about to do this. Now I take my job seriously. You know what I'm saying? Especially with that, because I mean, growing up in the hood, only thing I know is, hey, I'm my brother's keeper. And you got a lot of people who come to work and they just want that check. They don't care about the kids. Me, I'm giving them clothes. I'm cutting their hair because I see it. These people making a lot of money, and I'm talking about they won't even buy the kids shoes.
Nah, bro.
Like,
nah. There were no birthdays, no. You know what I mean? Like we just didn't. That wasn't something I experienced. So, yeah, honestly, bro. And people like you were rare. Like there'd be one person out of 20 people that worked. Like I was in a big orphanage where there was at least 50 employees, and there was maybe one or two that were actually decent people that like saw us as humans, but the majority just came for that check. And when they were having a bad day, they took it out on us, you know.
So do you have any like wild experiences or memories of growing up through a system that you know always sometimes think about?
Yeah, well, the orphanage for one. Yeah, one of the worst things I ever went through was like one of the kids getting restrained, and like I was in a group home that we had probably 30 kids in one house, right? And there were like 2 wings, and then there's this one center spot in the staff room. And one night, one of the kids was just having the time, because that's what we did. We showed out, we acted out. We were animals in a cage, and they put them in this hole where they put your knee, the knee in the back, and then they grab the arms. And
I've been trained, yeah.
Yeah, and they suffocated them right there on the fucking spot in front of all of us. And police came. It was a whole thing, bro. Like, and that was the first time as a child, like watching somebody that I knew personally, spent every day with, just die. And so that shit set the tone. Like, from there on out, it was really no better. Like, I went to youth prison when I was 13 because I had to get out of the orphanage. I'm just, I'm rebellious in nature anyways. But went to youth prison, and honestly, bro, like seeing kids get beat down, chained to the beds, and beat with batons, that's nothing. Like that was just every day,
So you seen that, like in the system, these people who's getting paid money, is actually harming the kids instead of helping the kids.
Absolutely, bro.
And getting paid to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you that. I get paid to do this to you. Yeah, so the system's no good, bro. My kids can't go. I'm gonna fight to the death. Yeah.
As you should. Like I said, I've been there, I saw it. And like I said, I don't support it at all. I actually not too long ago I had a chance to go back and work in the system. Probably a few months back, this weather was crazy this one. I was like, because I got my business, but I was like, I might go back and work, and God just kept popping up to where I didn't go back. And then it was like, okay, well, I got this going on now, and I got that. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just push myself, stay an entrepreneur, stay down, because like I said, the money don't even be worth it, the stuff that you go through and you see.
No, that's just sits on your spirit, bro. You take it home with you, the things that the kids been through before they got there, the shit that they're going through while they're there, like you wear that shit, and there ain't no way to separate it. You can't go home and act like it didn't happen. Like, you just can't. So system. Man. So
to go back to this subject as you being a country singer, so you find out that you have African American parents, and you different. You actually come from the hood. Do you feel like that affect your career as being a country singer?
Yeah, fuck yeah, bro. How everybody wants to refuse to accept that Beyonce made a country album, like because she's black and because they're not familiar with her being a country artist. But people like me, we kind of know that like where we come from in the South, like it's not really country music. It's just soul music. You know what I mean? And then when they people who have less experience in music just kind of label it as just one broad general thing. But Beyonce was making what we would consider country music 10 years ago, and like nobody even batted an eye. It wasn't until she won an award for a country album that everybody wanted to complain about it. But I experience it all the time, bro. Like the truth is, if I had blonde hair, blue eyes, and I look normal, I would be 1,000% higher in the charts than I am right now.
Your music, oh my God.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's just one of those things that I've come accustomed to. I have to work 10 times harder to get any recognition whatsoever.
Man, that song, Baby, I Just Want to Feel Something.
Yeah.
I say when I get married, that's going to be the song.
It's a good one.
Every time I hear that song, that's all I think about. Like, that song, before I even came here, I ain't have to go back and play the song, but I already knew. You know what I'm saying?
Looking at me from behind the camera right now.
When I first caught that song, there is special. It's like, that's the song that be on the radio. Because it give you we hear a lot of your music is real deep. But when I hear that song, it stands out like this is that love song that's going to make men just think. They're going to think about their woman. They're going to, and it's not just a regular baby, I love you type. It's like, I can feel this. And I can tell when you made that song, you was actually going through all these emotions. You know,
but that's how it should be, anyways, right? Like all of my music comes from a really intimate place. You know, if it doesn't, then it never gets put out. Because I can hear it later on, like a month from now, and be like, nah, it just don't feel authentic.
I think that's what it is. I think he's too talented. As an artist, when you can make 1,000 good songs, and then you got this song that really stand out, it's hard to grab to it because you got so many more. And I think that's what it is. I'm on your social media. One on, and I'm telling you, that song is different. I hear the other songs, they're good, and they're not even good, they're great. But it's something about that song that gives me wedding, family reunions, school events. Just
when I get that big advance, that's what we're gonna do, bro. I'm putting much money behind, certain songs. That's one of those songs for sure. It's definitely one of those songs. My wife hates that song. She every time it comes up, she's just cringing. Because for her, it's like hearing the most intimate part of our lives, put out on display. But I guess like for me, that's the beauty of it.
Right, because when I hear it, I think about this. I remember going through some things. I'm in a relationship, and I don't probably been in a few, but you want to just feel something like, man, I need to hug this woman. You know what I'm saying? I got so much going on. I'm dealing with kids. I'm dealing with life. I got past trauma growing up.
That's how it is in every relationship, bro. You come to a point where you've been there and you've been doing it for so long, it becomes routine. Like you just wake up and you're on autopilot. Y'all brush your teeth, take a shower, go to work, come back, whatever the fuck you do. And like at some point you stop feeling the intimacy between each other as much as you used to. Like when it's fresh and you talk to each other every day, every night till the sun come up type shit. That's the feeling of falling in love. And we forget how to fall in love with each other. After a certain amount of time, we love each other.
Yeah.
But Feel Something was one of those songs. It's about like trying to find a way to fall back in love and like finding that spark again, even when you're 10, 12, 13 years into a relationship.
He sang, hey, Chet, he sang the song like it's the best love song in the world. Like he's saying, baby, I love you, but he really telling us he's going through some things. His voice, I'm gonna get married to this. But his voice make you feel like it's still just a perfect love song, but he actually telling you a vulnerable moment that was in his life.
But it is a love song, and for sure. Like at the root of it, it's a love song for sure. Yeah. It's something that you can only say to somebody that you've got that with. You know what I mean? Like you can't sing that song to somebody you just met. Right. That's a song for somebody who's been in a relationship, who's been through the ups and downs, who knows exactly where they are.
Right. So if you had to tell an artist that's not signed, that haven't reached the status that you reached in life as far as your career, what advice can you give an artist that want to dream big?
Stop doing everything else. The biggest thing I see, like an artist who wants to make it big who hasn't yet, is the commitment level, bro. Like it's your commitment level. There's two things really. The commitment level. If you haven't given all of yourself to your career as a musician, you're never gonna make it. Just because there's a billion people out there that also make music who are in the exact same place as you. No career, no followers, no fans. You have to be something different. You have to commit all of yourself to that. The other thing that you have to do is you have to let go of all the things that you think aren't worthy and just put it out there. You have to let go of all of the holdback, bro. Everybody, like, when people, my son raps, he tries to come in my studio and fuck shit up and and he's got good rhymes, his cadence is all right, but his delivery, he's under delivering every time. And it's because he's afraid of how he would sound if he committed to it fully. So when I meet an artist who's trying to figure out how to break through, I tell them that you got to let go of all the inhibition and just fully commit to it. Whatever you're saying, say it with all of your heart, say it with your chest, bro.
That's some dope advice, and I think a lot of people can learn from exactly what you just said. You're real wise, man. You very humble since the first day I met you. You know what I'm saying? And always been supportive. It ain't from you, it's from your wife. I feel like you got the best setup, and I know the world going to catch on. They screaming your music.
They're streaming the music.
They're screaming the music. It's like screaming the ghost though. What type of this man get? How many streams you get a month right now?
1.2, 1.5 million. Something like that.
Do y'all hear that? 1.5 million, but and I ain't throwing no shade, but we hear about the Jelly Roll. What's his name? Jelly. and we got somebody without who had a record deal, but we know they have bigger, record labels, and he pushing out the same numbers or more. What's going on in the industry? You feel me? That we got somebody who sang better than all along. I mean, all along. I mean, I don't care what song you click on of his, you want to like it, and that's just no cap. So once the heavy marketing will come behind it, shout out to Boosie, he got a good label, but a lot of people hates on him just because they feel like Boosie's supposed to still be locked up there.
That's the unspoken truth, bro. The unspoken truth is labels are scared of him. The media hates him. They only use him for attention and clickbait. They only post when it's something negative or something controversial. And it was really something that bothered me. Like every time somebody would bring up Boosie, they wanted to talk about his daughter, his views on the LGBTQ community or whatever. And that's not what I want to talk about. But I want to talk about all the shit that he's doing is helping people. The fact that he's paying rent for God knows how many people every month, or the fact that his phone bill's $13,000 because he's putting the bill for 100 people in Baton Rouge every month. You know what I mean? Like he's donating food every single time he comes into town to every city. Like, the truth is that they don't talk about that, bro. They don't want to talk about
it. And chat, I'm gonna let y'all know right now. He not lying. I come to detail. So Boosie artist is Chance, right? Channy B.
My bad. Yeah,
I met. Shout out to Channy B. Real dude, scary as hell. He'll scare you.
He intense.
Yeah,
that's my dog.
Man, and I'm from Buffalo. I'm from Bronzeville, Georgia. He from Duval. Man, he give you that get out his way. Yeah. You don't see him on the camera a lot around. You'll see him, but just know, don't run up because, hey, I met Channy B, bro, and I tell you, I met on the post I put on Facebook, man. One day I want to detail one of my favorite rappers' cars. She ended up knowing Channy B. Channy B called my phone. I'm like, who's this guy? Hey, bro, you want supposed to come wash the cars? I'm like, wash the cars? I'm like, he's like, yeah, man, go come clean my car. Woo.
Accent thick too. Barely understand what he's saying.
Hey, all I know is, man, I pulled up over there, man. I see Boosie got 2-3 buses pulling up. I've never seen this before in my life. 3 buses of family. This was Christmas Eve. That's when I knew dude was a good dude. He giving out watches. I'm talking about everybody got a gift. I met his uncles. Everybody smiling. It's all love. And I'm like, man, I done been around so many people that celebrities. I got emotion, and I never seen them with 30 of their family members, 40 of their family members. This is the only person that I actually been around that I witnessed this, bro. Right. And it was genuine. And he got off the when he got out the car, he just got off the road. He tired. He like, man, what's up, man? Go watch the car. And really, I was gonna do it for promo. His manager came up to me and was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? What's your cash out? And sent me money. And I'm like, man, I was just, I'm just starting my business. I'm trying to get in. And then was right after that, I think I did y'all cars too. I did y'all cars right after that. And look, now today, you're build a relationship. Now I'm interviewing you. And on my platform, y'all, he finally telling the world that he's an independent artist. Now, usually over here, it'd be so many people in this month because I do crazy stuff. Sure. But I'm switching my platform up because it's like, I'd rather put out more love than hate. You know what I mean? Right. I don't got to be like every other broadcast out here. Everybody right now, they got to yell at their phone. They got to do crazy stuff, cracking eggs on their head. It's like, I get it. The views be there, but it be like, what you doing? Is it meaningful?
What's the quality of it? You know what I mean? What's the quality of your impact, bro?
Like, I know him. He's the guy who cracked the egg on his head. Right. Can you crack an egg on your head? Like, and that's the world now. Like no cap. Like that's the world right now. It's like
making people and shit, putting them in situations.
Bro. And that's what it is, man. People like you, Boosie, and that count. Y'all just real, man. Y'all authentic. And you right. A lot of people do want to make it look like he against the LBG community. And it's like my brother part of the community. You know what I'm saying? He big, he worldwide. Now he got his own TV show and stuff. So, and it's like, people don't like people who have their own mind. My brother part of the community, but that don't mean what he like, I'm going to like, but I'm going to like him as a human. I'm going to support him. I would never, I would never go against my family. You know what I'm saying? I treat his friends with respect. I feel like people feel like, oh, it's somebody gay, yo, like they monsters or something. Like, yo, bro, this man, it's a human being right here. Like
the narrative is really twisted, bro. Honestly, like they'll take a sound bite and they'll put that sound bite up with no context, and they'll say that he said something crazy about the community. But the truth is, like the first video we shot at his house was "Welcome to America." We brought the dance crew from Nashville, and they're 80% on the spectrum. 80% LGBTQ. And Boosie showed nothing but love and respect. In fact, you mentioned his manager. His manager is also gay. Like, and he spends more time with that man than anybody else.
I was about to say.
So at the end of the day, like, you can take those sound bites, and take them personally. But if you don't know the man, it's hard to put, a judgment to it.
So why? So if his manager, which I already knew, is a part of the community, why do the world try to make him look bad? Because most rappers won't even promote that. I won't even tell the world that, hey, I got a friend.
It's all about profitability, bro. It's not profitable to say that Boosie's a good guy. It's really profitable to play on the fact that he beat those murder charges, that he was in prison. It's profitable to say that, that he's got negative views against entire communities of people because, the world is so polarized, bro. Right. And everybody wants to have a reason to hate somebody. Right. But we're here for a different reason.
Right. And you did bring up the situation. We'll talk about a lot of people speaks on him and his daughter. Hey, I agree with everything Boosie say. I have kids. Sometimes we may say it the wrong way, but I mean, y'all parents, y'all get it. You know what I'm saying? If I want you to grow up and be this way, can you at least respect me enough? I know when you get 18, you go do other stuff. I know when you get 21, you go do other stuff outside of my household. But while you in my household, respect me.
I mean, I can't speak on it, but I can say that I can't really say much.
Well, you can say what we do over here.
Yeah. I mean, I live in a very different world. For me, like I came from a place of not having family, so I'm just happy to have my family here with me. So, like, whatever it is that you choose or whoever it is that you are, I'm not trying to infringe on that. I want you safe. You know what I mean? I want you to be, I want you to know exactly what it is that you are and want. I don't want you to be out here, like, flopping around like a fish. You're not sure if you want to be in the water or on the land. Like, I want you to know, like, you should be confident, whatever it is. But I don't have an opinion about it. Like, if you are, you aren't, that doesn't matter to me. All that matters to me is that you're happy, you're healthy, and you're safe. But, I come from a place of not having no family. You know what I mean? I come from a place of not having anybody to tell me that it's okay to be who I want, who I am, who I want to be. I come from a place where it wasn't supported. It was all like condescending and negative all the time. And being a unique individual anyways, obviously, like I don't look like really anybody. I'm a very unique looking individual. I faced my own set of challenges. So not having support, not having a support system really was like the reason why I turned to the streets. Once I was out of the system, like, who else did I have but the streets? You know what I mean?
They say you was on a corner selling crack, all that. I saw the interview. I say, did he just say that?
Yeah. I could have said it a little differently, but at the moment, like, it's hard because it's Vlad TV.
I'm looking at it like, whoa. And you know what though? Meeting you now, I would know you to be in the street, been around the world, but I wouldn't know you to been on the corner. I'm somebody who also came from being on the corner, and then when people meet me now, they be like, "Man, I'm not about that." I'm like, "Hey, bro,
I had broke down grams stuffed in my gums, like
I'm telling you,
like
pill bottle. You get mad, you crush it, you put your head to work. Then if the I'm talking too much anyway.
But for real though, like
Listen, you lose a lot of money in the streets, and I don't want this to sound cool because when you think about all that hustle that you put in the streets and the fast money that came, it went right back out your hand.
Yeah, I ain't never had nothing, bro.
Like,
I ain't never had nothing. Even when I had a lot, I ain't had nothing.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, the car was never registered. I buy some shit 24-inch rims pushing, it should be gone next week. It is what it is, It is what it is. But that's the life, bro. And like some of us like graduate to the next level of hustling. But if you always gotta look back and be like, man, some shit gonna take me down.
Man. And look where you at now. You know what I'm saying? Doing something positive.
Still a hustle.
And
that's just a different hustle, you know.
And trying to do something different. And I know it's hard, bro. And being around people who got a status in life, so many people call you phone want to borrow something.
Everybody, bro. Yeah.
It makes y'all, and I hate to say y'all, but you in the light, it makes y'all depressed sometimes. Like, you don't even call and say, hey, you like, hey, what's up?
It's
Can
hard,
you send me a
bro.
cash out?
Yeah, it's hard, bro. It's hard. I ain't gonna lie to you. Even the fans, like, that's all day, every day. Like, messages, my rent. And I want to help everybody, bro. You want to help everybody, but you also got to know, like, the cycles that brought you to the place of being broke back in the day with the same cycles that'll bring you there today. Like, you know, if I look out for everybody all the time, I'm never gonna have nothing, bro. So I had to learn, like, you know, early on when I started having money for music, I was like, yeah, I'm sending it to you. Yeah. And I was sending it, and my wife was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
But look, we was just in a bus sweating.
Right. And we got it, you know. But part of that was me wanting people to feel like I had made it. So I'm trying to justify my success by sending other people money. I hadn't settled into my success. You know what I mean? Like, and now a feu years later, like, I understand. Like, if you don't hold on to your money, you ain't gonna have no money.
Hey, I had this. Listen. I'm thankful to have a brother that's successful, because I'm like, well, I know the money coming when my mind on the way. So I'm gonna keep grinding till I get there. But I see everything you going through. Like, you know what I mean? You want to go purchase this nice house, but you can't go purchase this house because you're paying for 4 or 5 more other people rent. You paying 4 or 5. Like, it's like all the stuff that you deserve to do.
Even if you can afford to buy that house, you can't afford to buy that house. Yeah, facts. And Boosie taught me a lot of that too. Like, seeing him, like, taking care of so many people and then struggling on certain situations, like, really opened my eyes. Yeah, for sure.
Y'all check out his music right there, Common Tribe. A lot of y'all was asking, where can you check out his music? Here you go, right there in the comments, man. Common Tribe. So it sounds like, man, Boosie, even though you were signed to him as an artist, it seems like also y'all had like a brother bond kind of, and you learned it a little bit. You know,
yeah, it's hard. Like, he has a lot of people around him most of the time, so it's hard to really connect on, like, a more intimate level.
Right.
But you know, we would always find a way to go over there when it was just him and a couple other people, and like him and my son played checkers for 4 hours straight the last time we were over there. You know, like, but it takes that, like, because when everybody's around, he's Boosie badass. You know what I mean? But like when it's just him, it's Boo, it's Torrance Hatch, you know, he's a real guy. And there is a lot to learn there. There's, you know, he's got a lot of failures and a lot of successes to learn from. You know, and he told me one of the very first conversation, in fact, that we ever had that wasn't around a million other people. He was standing up by his pool. It was like 10 o'clock at night. It was like 3 days after we had signed the deal. And I walked up there because my wife was like, you just need to talk to him. You know, I hadn't got my advance yet. I was broke as fuck. I wrote lame like that same day. And I was going up there to tell him that I wrote this song. It was going viral. And, you know, I ain't even get to tell him none of that, bro. I got up there and he looked at me. He was like, you see all this? And I was like, yeah. He was like, you're going to have more than this. He was like, you're going to have more than I got. He was like, but you just got to believe in yourself. And that was really all he said. But that moment was the moment that I was like, this is a real dude, man. He's a real person, you know. And from there, like, he's never said no to me. You know, like, anything I've ever asked for, he's always said yes. And I'm probably one of the only people that can say that. Like, you know. But I'm not gonna, like, you know, make it seem like we got the closest relationship in the world. The truth is, I ain't spoken to him in a couple of months. But that's not because we have any ill, like, will. It's just the way things work. You know, he's a busy dude. I'm busy on my own end. And, you know, he don't have any professional ties to me at this point. So he's got to focus on what he's got going on.
Right.
But I could always pull up over there, and that's something I cherish. My kids always gonna call him Uncle Boosie. You know, that means something.
And you know what I noticed, man? You're a real dude, bro, because it's like you respect the cosign that he gave you and what he did for your career. I don't hear you complaining. But, you know, artists like Young Blue, he complained, and this man took him from, yo, I was in the feds, Young Blue out. He was doing contests like on the radio, like, or something. Like, they would be spinning his song, like he wasn't even signed yet. And the next thing I know, like, I tell you, no lie, I heard about it. He linked up with Boosie. By the time I got out, like letters do all over the world. One of the biggest cosigns. Boosie, I feel like since he's kind of blocked out of some ways in the industry, he go give you a good cosign where you at least your mixtapes go up. Your streams going to go up. You gonna get booked.
For sure. It's up to you, bro. You know, like the cosign is going to put eyes on you. It's really what you do with it at that point. And for me, as soon as I signed a deal, the first thing I did was start writing music, putting it out, like, you know, and laying it viral because I had that attention. That cosign gave me more eyes at that very moment than I would have had. You know, I could have put Lame out a month before that, and I would have had just my regular followers, and it would have been all right. But the truth is, because of the attention I had at that very moment, when I dropped that little snippet on the internet, the shit blew the fuck up. And, you know, 80, 90 million streams later, you know, like it was all because of that cosign. So I can't take anything from it, you know, that it really changed my life.
So artists can survive off streams. Is that what you telling me?
I do. I mean, I don't know what everybody else got going on.
But they be complaining. I really think they just be messing their money up. I think it's maybe drugs, drinking, partying, whatever.
You got to diversify if you want to really be successful. Like streams, you know, if you're signed to a big label, they're going to rob you. You know, you sign to a big label, they're taking massive percentages, bro. You get like 15, 20% of your royalties. That's nothing. You can't live on that. But as an independent artist, if you get those same numbers, you eating good, bro. My royalties stay at, you know, somewhere between $6,000 to $10,000 a month just in streaming royalties. Like that, that's nothing else. That's no endorsement. That's no product, you know, nothing. That's just fucking streams, bro. You know. And then if you know, in 2025, bro, like as an artist with those kinds of numbers, you can leverage that. You can leverage your royalties and get royalty deals where you're getting advances or you're even selling part of your catalog that you don't care about for millions of dollars. So, you know, there's a lot of ways to be successful as an artist. But if you build your catalog up and you build your listeners up, you can definitely survive on royalties.
Right.
Yeah.
And I also feel like once you sign this new deal, it's probably hard for me to even reach you, bro. He already got the music, so it's like once the machine get behind him, it's gonna be like, oh man, like it's up. So I think you made a great decision. It's like being known before you actually go to the craziest level in your life, and you already done the footwork. You already got the string. So I know the labels want you.
They want me, bro. Yeah. But in all the dream labels, like things that I grew up like, I have to be like, this is what I want, you know, they're all at the door. You know, I got a message from Rock Nation 2 days ago. Like, we're working on a deal. We'll have it to you in 2 weeks. So like,
y'all hear Rock Nation.
But I ain't saying I'm signing the Rock.
I don't know, but he said what he said, like Rock Nation.
Yeah.
Hey, all doors open now.
Facts. You know, we got a publishing offer from Sony. There's a lot of opportunity. The question is like, where is it going to lead? Who am I going to choose? I just don't know yet. You know, ultimately, I'm a business person, so I really have to.
What the numbers look like.
What the numbers look like. What kind of money you going to put behind the marketing? Not just what kind of money you going to give me up front, but what kind of recoup am I looking at? Like, you know, are you guys going to take 90% of my royalties after that? Like, that's really what it comes down to. So I'm looking a lot more at the back end than the money up front because. You know.
So if you sign a deal, let's say Rock Nation song, is it more important for you to keep your royalties or your publishing? Which one you just not letting up?
Publishing only equates to about 30% of what your royalties are after it's all said and done because. Well, for me, I'm lucky because most of the production is in-house. I do almost everything by myself. But for most artists, they're buying beats off of YouTube. They don't realize that you put that song out, even if you're claiming 100% of those royalties, the person who produced that beat is claiming the publisher side. They're claiming that side. They're claiming that on their ASCAP, their BMI. So, like, no matter what, you're not going to get that back in. So, yeah, the publishing is not as important. Now, I'm in a situation right now where I didn't claim publishing on any of my music for the last 2 years. So now I have like back publishing that has to be claimed manually. And there's teams of people that are like, oh, well, we're going to do this for you. You know, give us 20%, 15%. And honestly, I could do it myself. And I can claim those royalties, probably $100,000, $150,000. You know, But at the end of the day, like I also have to balance my fucking stage act. I got a lot going on. I got to produce the music. I got to market myself. I got to make the videos. I got to put them out, manage my social media, make sure that I'm being strategic about how I release music. You know, there's a lot of that is. So at this point, I'm really looking for a label that's gonna manage all of that stuff so that I can just
make it easy,
make music.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all I want to do.
Yeah. So do you still get like stage fright?
Nah, stage fright is a thing that like, okay, if you don't have stage fright, something's wrong with you. You know what I mean? Like if you don't have some kind of like butterflies before you get on stage, something wrong with you. But you got to have a healthy level of fear because it's what's going to keep you doing the right thing, bro. When you see an artist to get on a stage and just kind of fuck up the whole set and don't give a fuck, that means that they've gotten to a place where they don't care no more, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be on stage drunk. That's what kind of sense do that make? I'm not going to give a good performance if I'm drunk on stage, but there's so many artists jump on that stage and just give a shit performance, drunk as fuck, you know, and they think that just because they lied means that they doing the job.
I like that you brought that up. So, the question that everybody want to know: Lil Wayne or Kendrick should have been performing at the halftime show. Which one you rather have? You rather see Lil Wayne or you rather see Kendrick?
I mean, if we talking Louisiana, it's got to be Wayne. It's got to be Wayne. It's got to be Wayne, bro. You know. It just didn't make sense, but you know what though? I ain't gonna say too much because Rock Nation in my inbox right now, they control the Super Bowl, the halftime show. So I love y'all.
Yeah, we love
y'all made was the right decision. I ain't got nothing. Right. But you know, I would have loved to see Wayne, bro. And like people talk about his performances, but it's Wayne, bro. Like
I just seen him do a dope performance though.
Yeah, I did too. And honestly, every time I've ever seen him, it's been
Wayne is Wayne though.
He's a legend, bro.
That's like the Temptations, the guy that always be fucked up, but he sings good as hell. I mean, that's who he is. David Ruffin.
David Ruffin.
Like that's who he is. Like
you gotta just know that that's gonna come with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, we talking like performance wise, I don't feel like Kendrick did anything amazing.
Mm-hmm. I feel like
it was a standard performance for the Super Bowl. Like, you know, it didn't feel like it was, in my mind, it didn't feel groundbreaking. I appreciate the shit he did for the culture.
Right.
That shit means something. Yeah,
for the culture.
I appreciate the fuck out of that part of it. But the fact is that it wasn't even recognized by the people who needed to recognize it. Right. You know what I mean? And I felt like that's because it was shrouded in so much controversy. He used the whole platform to talk beef, you know, and really like push his beef with Drake, which I felt like was just missing the whole
point. It was
point.
about the money.
Right.
And I don't like capitalized good off of it.
You know, I like real shit, bro. And I just feel like that wasn't, you know, it really, to me, felt like he used his platform and gave all the attention to somebody else.
Yeah. But I mean, now what's next? You know, everything that's instant ain't good because now you got to keep that up. You know how the algorithm go, man. If you ain't keeping up that bull, man, it be hard sometimes.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, bro, like Nas won the battle between him and Jay-Z. Mm-hmm. But who's successful long term? You know what I mean? And so like sometimes, hey, chill out. Sometimes you just gotta take you gotta take it for what it is, bro. And Kendrick hot right now, but hey, go outside. But you know, I think Drake is a legacy artist, bro. You know what I mean? Like all controversy aside, Drake is a legacy artist.
Right.
You know, he's a
I actually wish that didn't happen. You know, I mean, it was not. Kendrick did a great song. We can't take that back. But when there's a lot of writers on there. I did see that.
Like 13.
That was a lot. That was cheating. That's the cheat code.
I had my own thoughts about it. I'm not gonna publicize them, but the truth is the 13 writers is crazy.
That's crazy. Like, what did you write? What did you create on it?
Yeah, but I did see that like some of the writers on it were like Ray Charles, which is like because they sampled some shit. Like so that you know, some of that I give to just publishing generally. But yeah, still 13 is crazy. You know, so not that many people work on the song.
What I did know is that you write your own music. Is there any like celebrities that you don't wrote songs for that you can speak on?
That I wrote songs for that I can speak on? Not that I can speak on, no. But I do write for people all the time, and at the end of the day, like there's multiple ways that you can do that. You can either get your writer's credits, you can sell the rights all the way out, and then they claim the rights for them. But I don't want to be known as a writer. Like I want to be known as the guy who writes his own music. But I don't want to be known like Neo was known for writing other people's shit. You could hear a song and be like, "Oh, Neo wrote that." You know what I mean? Like I don't want. That's not what I want because you get stuck there. You know what I mean? Like you can get stuck there. Neo's career was really short lived, and he went back to writing for people, and
that was good. You brought that. Cause now you think about it, you don't be like turn on that Neo unless you go and playing some stuff from like early 2010.
Yeah,
like,
but you know,
and he was dope.
He was, but you know, you can count the hits on one hand, and then like at the end of the day, he was just more successful as a writer, and that's what labels wanted to push. And I've had that. I had a phone call the other day with one of the VPs of the biggest label there is, and you know, the guy who was pushing to be my manager was really like pushing me to say, "Oh, I write. I'm a writer. I can write for everybody," and wanted me to send over all these songs in different genres so that he could see that I was, you know, a good, viable writer that they could use as an asset. But at the end of it, I don't want that. You know what I mean? So for me, that really kind of like, if the label is offering a situation in which they're trying to utilize me as a writer, I'm most likely going to turn it down. Because I love making a connection with an artist and saying, "Hey, let's work on something together," and then writing a song with them or for them, and then we put it out. But I don't want to be used as a writer because there's too many. Writing for me is such an intimate experience. It's such a real thing. I put so many real thoughts and feelings into my music that how could I possibly be okay with hearing those same thoughts come from somebody else? You know what I mean? Like
you're real passionate about it. And another thing that I saw that you and Kevin Gates had the same manager before.
Yeah.
And you fired. So pack your shit, get the hell on.
Oh, Kevin Gates did too.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, ultimately, bro, like managers are a lot like artists who had their heyday and then fell off. Like you'll find a manager who managed Michael Jackson and they'll be like, "Oh, I managed Michael Jackson," and then come in and just fucking do nothing, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and you're just like, bro, like, what the fuck? But you know, I want that manager that's hungry, bro. You know what I mean? The one who hasn't been successful. I want the one who doesn't have royalty checks coming from these big songs. Because when you have that, what do you need to grind for? You know what I mean? You don't have to believe in what I'm doing when you're already good. You know, two of Kevin Gates' managers, in fact. Not just one. Two. I fired the one, and then the second one tried to pick me up.
So right now, do you have a new management team?
I don't.
Man, you independent all the way.
100%. I have 3-4 people that are all battling to get me the deals that are. So the industry right now is weird. There's a lot of middlemen. And the middlemen have imprints with major labels, and they have relationships with A&Rs and relationships with vice presidents. And what they do is they try to find talent, bring it to the label, and then take, you know, 20-30% of whatever the advance is, and they collect royalties off of that, like in perpetuity. Like that's where the industry is right now. So there's 3 or 4 people that are battling for that spot with me. They're like, "Oh, I'm going to get you a deal," and then somebody else is like, "Oh, I'm going to work and get you a deal," and they put me in groups, you know, chats with like CEOs, and, you know, or I'm going to get you a royalty deal. We're going to get you $1 million right now, you know. But at the end of the day, like, talk is cheap.
What's the deal that makes sense to you? What's the number that's going to make you just sign today?
Man, today. You'd have to come right, bro. To get me to like just be like, "All right, I probably need about 5 million. Yeah, about 5 million.
You work. I mean, you in the that R&B, that soul, that country music hit different. So you know, and you already got the screen. That's the part about it that different from you, from most people that actually like signing labels. You actually have the screen.
Well, I'll tell you why I feel like that, bro. Because honestly, I have this ultimate goal, right? The ultimate goal is to buy some land, build a house that I don't owe any money on, put a solar field in so I never pay any fucking bills. Like, you know, gardens and animals and shit. Like, I never want to pay a bill in my life. I don't want my kids to ever pay a bill. So for me to do that, I need a certain amount of money to accomplish it. Once I have that, whatever happens after doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I can own my fucking life and royalties or whatever the fuck to a big label if I got enough money to set my family up for the rest of my generation, the generation after, and the generation after. So $5 million is enough. That's enough. You know what I mean? I sign that deal. I don't give a shit what you get on the other end. You know what I mean? I'm gonna come do the concerts and I'm gonna show up at at Saturday Night Live. I'm gonna do the thing. But I don't give a fuck what happens to any more royalties or none of that because the $5 million, I know what I'm gonna do with it. Right. You know what I mean? Like what I'm gonna do with it's gonna change the lives of my entire family forever. Versus like going out buying a bunch of cars in a big ass mansion and always paying fucking. I don't want.
Man, speaking of cars, man, you got that Tesla thing, and now y'all looking at another car. It was
the i8.
Yeah.
I
said your wife post about it. We was talking about the Tesla. Oh no, this is about to get messy. You want to get rid of it because of Elon. You ain't want to support the brand.
I don't want. I mean, it's not even like it's not political. It's really just like he's messy as fuck. And I was good with it when he kept that shit private. But the minute it became such a public thing, I'm just like, bro, I kind of try to separate myself from drama. Right. I also don't want. I don't want nobody throwing a brick through my shit. You know what I mean? Like, and that shit going on right now. People destroying. I got a 24 karat gold Tesla. I don't want you throwing a brick through my shit. But ultimately, bro, honestly, I just think the Tesla's kind of a boring car. Yeah, I think the interior is boring. I think it's just a plain Jane car. And while I do like to be very frugal and smart about my money, I'm a little bit flashy. You know what I mean? Like I do like to have that one thing. I'm like, oh, I bought that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and it won't necessarily be a big giant mansion, but I do want to have a nice car that I ride in. So I think I'm gonna buy a BMW i7. I'm gonna ride that bitch in chrome. I want my kids to be able to, roll that screen down and watch it. But I'm gonna buy it in cash, and I don't want to own them. Yeah. Them
BMW nice cars, especially when the turbo coupes. Like I'm a BMW fan. That's all the time. Like, yo, that's going.
I'm a BMW fan from back in the day. We bought a shitty BMW trying to be cool, and we didn't have it, and it's like had a blown head gasket. It was the whole thing. Yeah. So now I feel like I gotta redeem it.
Come back, show them like, hey, look at me now. Type
right. Besides, this shit just look good. You remember how the fucking Phantom looked back in the day when it first came out? Shit was just beefy. Yeah, that's, I want that. And I feel like this is the only car right now that has that. Like, this is a boss.
So, do you see yourself signing artists, like, owning your own label?
Yeah, I got to, bro. I got to. So before I was like an artist of my own, I always worked with everybody else. Working on other people's shit. I like to take artists under my wing, help them develop their sound and get it out. I don't want to do it for a label, but I want to do it for myself.
Right.
Yeah. So, I've got an artist now that I'm working with. Her name is Bordeaux, and she's fucking insane talent. And I write with her and produce some of her stuff, and we're gonna push her out at some point. But I'm trying to get my own label situation figured out before I introduce my new artist. But
okay.
I did sign an artist a year and a half ago, but she ended up just having a lot going on. She couldn't devote as much attention to being an artist as I needed her to. So we've taken a break.
Okay. So any upcoming projects?
Yeah, biggest project of my career, bro. Trainwreck, my next album. And that's going to be out in the next 2 months. I don't have a date yet because I'm still in the middle of litigation with all the labels. I can't set a date. I'm also doing a catalog acquisition for a bunch of money. I don't want to.
You about to sell some of your catalog?
Yeah. Because if once I do that, I don't need a label. You know what I mean? I've got the millions in my bank account already. What was the label going to do for me?
Right. So let's say you sell the catalog. Do you feel like you have the plugs to have the machine going for you,
definitely
on the marketing?
Definitely. Industry wise, in the last few months, I've made so many huge friends that I don't need a label. In fact, I do have a couple of people that are working on my team on the back end, and one of those people, big shout out to Big Lou. Big Lou was the project manager on Donda for Kanye. He's working on this project. And he's plugged me in with so many people that I never thought I'd be able to fucking have access to on the back end, playlisting and radio and all of that stuff. And we have no formal relationship. We're not in the contract. He's just a guy that I hang out with who's done crazy big things. Bob Horn's mixing my album. He mastered every fucking body, bro. Like, you know, everybody. Michael Jackson and and Justin Bieber and B2K. What is it?
B2K.
Maybe not B2K. It was the K-pop. Taylor Swift, like he's a legendary mastering guy. He's working on my album. We had no formal contracts. You know what I mean? Like we're just working. And I like it like that. It feels good. I'm giving points on my back end. They'll collect the royalties. We're not in the contract. I don't owe you anything. You don't owe me anything. We're just doing it in the interest of music. You know? So yeah, if I have the money in the bank, I know for a fact that we got the plug. You know?
Right.
That's what's gonna make my label such a label when I get ready to do it.
So you want an artist like male artists? I'm
all over the place, bro. If you got the talent, you know what I mean. But what I'm looking for is different. You know what I mean? Somebody who just has a vibe, bro. Like I don't want to hear the same shit. There's so many people out here call themselves an artist, but then they play some shit that sounds just like something else. You know, I don't want that. I want to hear some shit and be like, man, I've never heard anything like that before. You know, and that's when I'm gonna be like, yeah, let's put in work. Because if you already have a vibe, and then I'm gonna put my vibe, it's gonna be magic. You know what I mean? I'm all about the magic, bro.
Facts. So how long it took you like to build a studio? Because this thing dope. Like.
Oh man, honestly, bro, my other studio before we moved from Buckhead was my favorite, and I really took the time to make it what I wanted. We moved into this house, and I rushed. You know, like maybe 2 weeks? Yeah, maybe 2 weeks. I rushed to put this together, and I regret it. I was just talking the other day to my wife about taking all this shit out and like completely redoing the whole studio. But it gets the job done. Ultimately, the LEDs are cool, but they fucking cause feedback in the microphone, so you got to turn them off before you record. So I'm glad Yeah, bro. If you go into a recording studio, they got LEDs on. Just like listen to the headphones and the sounds. You'll hear it just like an electronic home. That shit translates into the recording. So I would probably put a lot less focus in the lighting and put more into the quality of equipment.
Okay. Man, listen, y'all. I'm loving the vibe with him. I mean, this dude humble. You wouldn't even think that he done signed deals, got deals on the table, meetings and streams. Like you could tell, man. And I know this. God go bless him. This go around, man. God go bless him. Now
I'm already blessed for sure. Yeah.
I'm ready for him to come to the live side. You know, he be ducked off. You know what I'm saying? Do his video, but I think his wife make him do the videos and TikToks and all that. I don't think that'd be him. That be you coming up with all that stuff.
She be pushing me. You know what I mean? Like I get to a place where I don't want to be on the internet, and so and I don't scroll TikTok. Like I'm not the guy that's just gonna scroll TikTok. Yeah, so I'll post it and I'll go, and I'll come back and I'll respond to comments because I try to make sure I respond to as many as possible. Like, but I just want people to know that like I see you know you listen to my music. That shit means a lot to me. I guess maybe it comes off as like a bot, like when I respond to everybody. But
so KTC is someone who's been following you for a long time. KTC, if you want to come up here, anybody want to come and just, you know what I'm saying, say something nice, say something hey before we get up out of here. Chat, I'm gonna give y'all a chance to. Shout out to Bigo. I see y'all over here. We got a couple hundred over there. Over here, we like today, man. We like, but the people here that support you, and KTC is one of the people that was like, make sure you ask him about the bus, man. Make sure you know he was homeless and stuff. Like she was on it. Like she knew exactly.
I appreciate you
who you was. So KTC shout out to you. And she's one of my mods in my chat. Like who supports me heavy. So
that's dope.
It's cool. Now you see Carmen right here. You see Kevlo right here. We together right here, man. We locked in. We been locked in. You know what I'm saying? We've been locked in. So, you know, if y'all don't know how he met me, man, y'all always know, man, I was his detailer. So
he's coming out to Buckhead, washing the cars in the parking lot.
Man, what?
Space.
Hey, people like, you don't supposed to do that out here. Hey, next day my boy said, I'm getting up out of here. And he bought a new house. No cap. He bought a new house and I'm getting tired of this. Man, but hey, I had met some people out there in Buckhead. I got a good bit of customers. And I'm not even gonna lie, your car brought some customers too, man. Like clean that stuff. I did like a bunch of them after that. Like literally. You know, it's like a test of community. Am I?
Shit dirty.
I got you. Hey, listen. I was go hit him up, but we got kind of late. I was go tell my people, but man, I got you. I definitely put
just for old time's sake.
Hey man, look, I got
you coming up in the world now, but
man, look, you know what? Wow. I do so much detailing now than I was then, but I do so much live streaming now. You know, so I pace myself, bro. Like I just say in the morning, I'm gonna go to work. In the evening, I'm gonna be, you know what I'm saying, doing my live streaming. If I go to the studio, I go do that.
That's what you gotta do, bro. You gotta grind it out whatever way you can.
Yeah, bro. I'm not stopping. I got goals. I got things I want to do. This is my third actually channel, bro. They reported me 3 times.
Sheesh.
And you know, I'm already at like almost 3K since December, but they was upset. That's why I just chilled.
I'm gonna plug this interview, so once it's all wrapped, I'll share it on my pages.
Hey, appreciate you. It was a dope buy. It'll be big, it'll be better. And man, look, he owed me to go to one of them concerts. Y'all hear me? I got to go to one of them concerts.
I got the VIP access for sure.
Okay, we got somebody coming up to speak to. What's up, Steve?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Sheena.
Hey, Common Tribe, how you doing? I've been tuned in since y'all got started. I want to ask one question.
Sure.
Who was your inspiration growing up to keep going? Who gave you that inspiration as a kid?
You know what? There was this dude named David that worked at the orphanage. And he would come in and he sang Lauryn Hill all the time, like, you know, ready or not. And he, you know, came to me one day after he had heard me humming. And he was like, I heard you sing, you know, he was like, what you gonna do with it? And at the time I didn't really know, you know, I always felt like I had some kind of bigger plan for my life. I always wanted to be famous, always wanted to be, you know, a rock star, but it never really felt possible at the time, you know, when you were in a situation where you feel like you're just never going to get out of it. But David sat down and like gave me the rundown on how to do all the shit. He showed me how to do the harmonies. He would harmonize with me. We would be singing together, you know, and he would tell me like, hit this note while I hit this note. And him taking the time to do that and telling me that I was talented was enough for me at that time in my life to let me know that like this is something I wanted. It was the gratification he gave me. It was the support he gave me. And really just that interaction, human to human, that wasn't driven by like where we were and what I was in situation-wise. You know what I mean? So shout out to David. I don't remember his last, but he was a good dude, man. He was probably my first inspiration for sure.
That's dope. Because now you're an inspiration to people. Your story probably touched millions and billions of people. I know it touched me coming from that type of background that you came from. And I'm grateful for that because there's going to be a lot of young kids looking up to you that's in your situation right now that probably won't give up because of your story. Thank you for sharing your stories.
Thank you. That was a great question.
Yeah, that was definitely dope. Anybody else want to come up before we wrap it up? I got the link in the chat. I'm also going to show him how that he can go live and do this himself on his platform. He got 47,050 now. And I could just only imagine seeing him open up that live and all them in the chat. And it'll be easy for you, like when you marketing your new single, like what you got coming out, like your people get to actually come and talk to you. I got to interview you on mine. Huh? I got to interview you on mine. Let's do it. Yeah, we'll make that the first one. All right, bet. Hey, y'all, there you go. And over here, we show you it's 2 of these platforms that's going to work. Okay, we got Iceberg, good guy over here. He's a guy. He got his own podcast going over here also.
What's going on, fellas? Y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Iceberg.
Salute, Kev Low, salute, Common Tribe. Appreciate y'all doing this interview, Kev Low. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. I like the track that you're going on. You see, I'm over here. You was questioning where I was. You see when I'm here. You see when I'm not here. Yeah. Salute to you. Bro. You see what I'm here for. Salute to you, Common Tribe. I appreciate you telling your story, bro. I like what you were saying about your that one track with, you know, talking about the story and relationships and being there, because me and my wife, we've been married 20 how long? Damn, how long we been married? 25 years, something
Woo!
like that now. You
I'm
know.
about to be in trouble just for
Right,
that.
yeah, I had to think hard, right? But yeah,
Yeah,
so about going through those trials and tribulations, makeups, breakups, but sticking things out, that type of stuff. I appreciate you, sharing that story, bro. Just wanted to salute y'all
absolutely,
brothers
bro.
for the interview.
Man, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Yeah,
Absolutely.
and bro, congrats on those 20-something years. That's crazy, man. I hope that I
Yeah,
get.
man.
I know I'm gonna say that one day, as long as I don't die.
Absolutely. Hey, real quick question. Is that your wifey that we heard in the background?
Oh yeah, she right there behind the camera.
Yeah, so salute to that. I don't know if y'all saw it in the chat, but hey, I could tell that she's not only your partner in life, but she's your partner in business too. She like, hey, talk about what we do. Go ahead and tell that story, bro. And I
Yeah,
appreciate that. So salute to her too.
absolutely, bro. Thank you.
Hey, listen, that's how I'm here.
Right,
Yeah,
That
yeah.
literally.
right.
Okay.
She's the one that set all this up.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So salute the wifey. I'm gonna get down and let the next person come up. Holla
All
at
right,
y'all.
brother. Appreciate you, man.
That was dope. Keep the change. What it do? This shit go to later. I'm telling you about that. Give me a lot of information about this.
How you doing? Can you hear us?
She probably trying to get on mic right. She's probably in the back chat, but she. Keep the change. You can hear me. Well, I know you hear me. We can't hear you.
No, we can't hear you. Maybe we gotta do it
All right,
again.
she about to come back up.
Yeah.
She's so excited, y'all. She can't even get a mic right. What up, Glow? What's going on, Bigo? Hey, if y'all don't know, you know now, man. This is coming. Tribe. He was signed with Boosie Boo. Now he's got Rock Nation. Everybody knocking at his door right now. So, hey, y'all better pull up his songs. What's up, Glow? Glow, she got a music situation going on now. So she got in Detroit, man. Check out my boy Carmen. Check out my boy Carmen Tribe, Glow. He that. You know what I mean? He just sitting here, so he's so humble with it. So appreciate you for coming in, watching the interview. KTC,
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I had to hurry up and come up. I'm still working, but I watched your story from when you guys was in the travel trailer
Yes, ma'am.
and you was on TikTok. Got your music out there, the songs that you was writing and playing for everybody, and it was good to see a brother make it to where you want to be from where you came from, and you stay humble the whole time.
That means a lot to me. It really does. It means so much to me. Thank you so much for being part of this journey. Honestly, without you, without people like you, then we wouldn't be here. So it means the world to me.
Thank you. You have a good one. You and the family. Lovely family.
Don't get in trouble at work now.
I won't. You ain't got to worry about that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
If we do play something, it have to be something that he got unreleased because we.
I don't want to do you like that.
Boy, he'll come snip. I know. Y'all heard what he said. They gonna come snatch me. I ain't gonna do it like that.
But you can tell them where they can find and stream your music from.
Yeah, all platforms, Common Tribe. You guys can find it anywhere that you stream music: YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, Apple. But yeah, if you get a chance, if you haven't heard my music, go check it out. And if you have, then please, keep listening.
And TikTok.
Yeah, you hear the wife? I'm on TikTok. I'm on all the platforms. Common Tribe everywhere. Y'all can follow me. Send me a message. Shoot me a comment. I respond back to as many as possible. So, yeah.
Oh, I got one more question before we get up out of here. Because I'm in the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? I see you got your queen back there, man. And the fans, look. I can only imagine your spotlight is way crazy. How you deal with that? Like, the craziness. And when I say the craziness, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's some crazy shit. Oh, man, it's some crazy shit. I'm not going to mention the things that are the craziest because I don't want to give them no more attention than they need. But at first, the shit bothered me. So we went viral for living off grid before we went viral for my music. People were calling me a cult leader because we had invited people to come chill with us in the community. People are like, oh, don't do it. It's a setup. They're going to get you there and then keep you, lock you up. And it was a whole thing, bro. And to the point where I was on the cover of Yahoo News and Business Insider for 3 months. Legit. No bullshit.
Vice
To
man.
the point, yeah, Vice came out and shot a documentary, like, and we had an FBI agent. It was serious. It was real serious. So, and during that time, we were getting death threats and all kinds of crazy shit. I mean, Child Protective Services was looking for us. The police came out. Fire department came out. Everybody, bro. Like the first time a fucking FBI agent showed up and was like, "Hey, we got credible threats against you guys, and we need to, like, that shit really shook me. That shit, I disappeared. We disappeared. Like, we got in our bus and we disappeared. We left the state. Like, we fucking went off the map, bro. But like, it was a good foundation for me. You know what I mean? Like, seeing all the hatred first and then moving into like something more positive, even though we were doing something positive at the time. Now the hatred is nowhere near what the positivity is. You know what I mean? Like, I'll get, I don't know, a couple hundred, hate comments a day, but I get thousands of supportive, positive comments. And so I'm just learning to let that shit roll off my back. The truth is, I'm always going to look different. That's just who I am. I'm always going to get hatred. Like, that's why I'm going through what I'm going through as an artist. The reason why I have to work so hard and put out so much more than other people and make sure that my sound is even more unique. It's okay. That's a positive for me. You know what I mean? The fact that people recognize my face, just from seeing it in the video on the internet, that means something to me. And if I look like everybody else, I wouldn't have happened. So
you should, hey man, look, you had your wife tatting your forehead the other day.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that shit's what's funny is so many viral media outlets started sharing that shit. It's on like the Koala and Hollywood News and all of these fucking, they all share this shit on there. We didn't know.
Just chilling your life.
Somebody tagging me in the comments.
Reality show, man.
We've had so many offers.
Like, for real, y'all might need to do it.
We've had so many offers.
You on Twitch yet?
No. I'm gonna get on Twitch, all those things. I just haven't been on it. I'm trying to get these deals figured out, and then we'll move to the next step. Because it really is time consuming. I spend most of my day sending paperwork and confirming numbers and doing all this stuff. It's a lot of work.
Okay, I know you came in at the end. This is Common Tribe. He also was on the Boosie Badass label. I mean, he doing millions of streams a month. He's that guy, Leon. I know you coming in, you trying to, check in and see what's what. But man, get on your TikToks. Actually, kids, look, they done saw, man. Hey, he also mean, hey, bro, I'm just tripping out that you even was going viral just by living. You know what I'm saying? Like,
somebody said I was in a black church. Yeah, I was raised in a black church, Southern Baptist all day long, sang in the choir. Yeah, I got booed off the stage my very first time. Black church, it was terrible. It shit sat with me for a long time. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't never go to a white church. I
got a secret about something like that, man. This is an embarrassing moment, man. All right, all my brothers on my dad's side, they knew I wanted to be a rapper, a singer, whatever, bro. So we had church. My dad lived in the country, like dirt road. There's one small church that's no bigger than y'all front.
I've been there. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I grab the mic, here I go in there. I'm going singing, I'm making my own song. God, I don't need to find a thing. I can't sing for nothing. I'm here making up stuff. I leave for church, my daddy them say, boy, what is wrong with you? They picked on me,
bro.
My brother them picked on me for like months at a time about that. I'm like, I thought I was doing the right thing. Like, God was on me.
That's proof, though. That's proof that you start. Everybody starts at the bottom, bro. Like, I got up to do the Christmas, the Christmas pageant. The Christmas show,
right?
And they selected me to do Silent Night, the Temptation version. And I was crushing that shit in practice. Like, we was killing it. But somebody thought it was a good idea to swap out the instrumental for the actual pageant. And so the instrumental was in a different key. Oh. My dumb ass up there singing in one key, the instrumental playing in a whole other key. The monitor's not working, so I can't hear it. And everybody in the audience just like, boo! Bro, I wore that shit so long.
Man, good thing you kept going.
Man, and most of my time in church, when I sang bad, everybody still was just like, hey, that's good, baby. You did a good job. Not this time. Nope. It was terrible.
They talk about put a beat on, Kev, Lord, let the homie flow. Man, the link right there. The link right there.
Y'all go check it out.
Go check it out. Go take your time out, check it out. You gonna be blown away, man. Now I'm pretty sure you can freestyle and do all that, but I'd rather y'all go hear the song.
I appreciate it,
man. No, he different. It's a blessing for him to even have me right here next to him while we right here doing this interview. Because I promise y'all, in a few months, I know how it is when you in a situation and you know with the labels and you know what I'm saying. But that next step,
we in that place, bro. We're at the door. The door's open. I just haven't walked through it yet. But yeah, we doing the thing, bro.
Hey man, hey, I appreciate you, man. It was a good interview.
Absolutely.
Shout out to my boy Country Tribe. Shout out to his wife also for holding it down.
Love you, baby.
Hey, we here from detailing the car to doing the interview, and then tomorrow I might be back out here scrubbing some tiles, man. But let's keep it going, man. This is where it started at, man. See y'all later. Little breaking news. We out of here.